So where was I? I'm looking at notes to my side, and also I'm not going to redo anything anymore. Though I may or may not take notes, which you can't tell with World of Horror. But if my mouse ever stops moving or suddenly suspiciously moves to the side, like I just am showing right now, then that means I am looking off to my notes because I might be jotting things down if I have second encounter. Well, I do technically if I have the 6th floor, but dexterity, charisma, strength. I rue the day when I accidentally forget what one of these sigils means, but we can go for 8 charisma, and then maybe strength if we put every... well, we'll see. We'll see. So, what I was saying before in the previous video, as I'll try to, I guess, continue where I left off, Dotu Cult. Okay, so kind of standard, but yeah, Dotu Cult is that I want to keep my... let's see, I guess developer self separate from my channel here that you're watching. Although, I mean, if I do anything related to RPG Maker, because I've already exposed that much, then I will do it on this channel, but it won't be connected to my other self, I guess. Again, it's more to keep things kind of separate and make sure there are no complications that arise, and it's also just good for, you know, keeping things separate. A whole slew of things that can be kept separate, and probably should be kept separate. So I'm gonna go for a chainsaw play here, by the way, and that's why I separate, you know, what I do. I'm not trying to advertise anything of that sort. Ethically, I personally believe that I shouldn't for myself, but for some people, it's different depending. So if other people do it, that's to their own thing. Some people openly do it. It's not really that bad, but I'll see. Maybe there's a day when that changes, but it's certainly not today. So, do I want to tree 3 times just to absolutely destroy myself, by the way? I could also use Enthrallment, which I should probably just do. Asato, and, well, I'm keeping Asato with me because I'm Mizuki. And I'm going to brick immediately just in case I have things. And you know what? Let's just go for it. This is going to be a lot of Doom, by the way, but I'm going to hope that the chain... So this is the cost for me trying to get Chainsaw here, so we're going to find out. So we do get the fuel, and we'll hopefully get a light source. Okay, good. So I'm holding on to all these bricks now. And, yeah, as I was saying in the previous one, so why I say, and that explains why I say from the perspective of a developer, point of view of a developer, something of that sort, which you can't, I mean, I can understand why people might argue, not really, but you're not really that, Jordan. And I go, well, you know what, technically, you're right, but I've already talked about it in the previous video, but that's, if for no one else, then for my own ability to, you know, look at games and say, would that be good if I did that in my own game, and so on and so forth. But if you wanted some perspective from someone who's small time pretty much, then, well, here you go. Also, that reminds me of something someone said before of, what was it, what am I thinking of as I'm trying to stay sane and look at these roll checks, is that... hold on for a moment. Do I want more funds? Yeah, I want to try to get more funds. Alright, just lose stamina. But they said something along the lines of, well, someone who's probably teaching a certain subject is either, you know, has the time to teach, or, you know, they failed in that area. Something along those lines, and that sounds kind of disingenuous? I don't know what you want to say. I mean, it's not that I agree, but I see what they're trying to say. However, it is kind of oof the way that's worded. But that, yeah. So basically, so say you're a coach. Then I mean, they never. Again, I'm not putting words into anyone's mouth. I'm just talking about the concept of that. If nothing else, if we were to talk about such a thing, and I won't stay long because that's kind of. We're kind of stretching logic, but say you were a coach, then the assumption is that you were a failed athlete. Or if you are now a science teacher, then you failed in your respective field or whatever. Maybe you're trying to research something. It sounded really bad, and I didn't agree with it myself if I were to talk about my own personal stance. But I see what they're trying to say, and I don't know. If you, the viewer, are watching, have an opinion on that, I would like to know, but... in relation to me, then that would be, which is where this tangent began, then the fact that I'm saying from the point of a developer when I look at certain games and things means that I'm a failed developer. And, you know, you believe what you want, and I'll leave it at that. I could do Parting Gift. Do I finally get to use Parting Gift? I mean, it's not that I almost never, well, I do almost never get to use it, but is this the time? Because I have Hermit and Asato. However, we lose the buffs. I mean, before I get Paranoia, I guess this would be good. I didn't lose Bath, right? Let me just check to make sure. That way I can do this play. Okay, I didn't. But I won't get to really rest. I'll have 4 reason for painting. Maybe I'll let Asato go, at least. And then we'll see. Did that... Well, we're gonna find out. I won't let Hermit go in fear of dying early, so we're gonna hope. And I will take this bath, and I will do this. You know what? No, let's go. If for no other reason than I believe I might get Paranoia during painting, so if nothing else, we can run away. So it won't be too difficult to do that much. We're in a Thotu cult. However, if we run into a cult member with a rifle, it could be bad. I know he only does stamina damage, but they're covered by a mask, and for all I know, they're wearing a suit and they have a masculine form. I'm just gonna say he, but you know, yay, nice charisma roll. Except that it's a 3, so it didn't matter what my charisma was, unless I was Asato or maybe Toshiaki. But you understand what I mean when I say that. That said, if anyone's interested, because I know people, I made a mistake here. Well, mistakes are made, and that was reason for almost no reason, because I didn't need to look there anymore. But the game gave me a pass for now, so we're heading to the warehouse, and we're gonna get this chainsaw and equip the chainsaw, which will be really useful in the Thotu, because because I can do so many attacks, I benefit more from the 1 extra point of damage as I move on. Oh goodness, I'm looking at something else. Hold on. Demon Mass, you know what? An extra point of damage, since we won't be recovering up to, like, what is this, 9 stamina, 9 reason, plus any other effects if I forgot, but hey. So I don't want to fight this, but for the sake of getting an ally, I might humor this. Yeah, let's humor this. If for no other reason, we shouldn't die here. Actually, Doom is my greatest worry at this point alongside Reason, because this thing does Reason damage, but let's throw these and find out what happens. I did also just forget my second encounter, but you know what? If this is not my second encounter... This should be, because I still had bricks, so we're going to find out. That said, let's find out if we can do a brace play really quick. We can, for 7 damage, and that should be a kill? Unless something really weird happens. I don't have anything bad, right? Well, no, that's not, yeah. If it was the other way around, even though this thing only does reason damage, the point is that I don't have any other source of reason coming to smack me from unexpected places, but... and I think this should be a kill, because that should be 12 damage per... 12? Yeah, because 5 times 2 plus 2, so... And 5 times 2 in, well, no, I didn't say parentheses, and that should, because that's another thing that's been surprising, and also I now have the second encounter check, so it should be the painting. People are probably already yelling at me if I'm wrong, but hey, I should have written this down. Let me just write that down then. The painting, second question mark? And now keep going. Bulletin, Festival, Coma. Festival, oh my goodness. I can take Festival now. I don't know what timeline I'm in, though. Well, oh, my nose. Ah! And then I did that. Let me just do something else really quickly. 9-0. So the reason why I might be stopping here and there is, again, this is more a chill series. However, I am going to still kind of treat it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out my win rate on Harbinger. And at least, well, if Panstas happens to put out an update in between... me doing 100 quick plays and the update, then, well, you know, I guess I do have to interrupt the series because that does change the balance. Or I could keep, because I bought World of Horror on itch.io, if nothing else. Nice 11 roll of knowledge, by the way. That means I can keep playing older versions. I could go back and make a series about that. But I decided to do this first, so if Panstas does release it, another new version that basically changes balance, every one of the Usually, most patches, especially if they're big ones, obviously, will change the balance of World of Horror runs in some way. But the point is that if theoretically I can continue this series, even if Panstaz puts out another update, which is the important part. However, I think I will not, because it's in my interest, both personally and if I was looking for more success on YouTube for whatever reason, that I play the new update. If for no other reason than touching new shiny, then I can maybe come back to this if I choose to. Blech, my words. So my charisma got absolutely tanked by the something hunger. And so now I'm going to lose 3 reason when I go in the right lighthouse. So again, that's another... It's so easy to get curses in this game, obviously, but the chance of it being... You say that there's only 1 out of so many curses, but the fact that it's there means that charisma is a less quote-unquote useful stat, and why less people don't really like to build it. And since Panstaz put out the statement a long ago, I mean, things can change. People's personalities are usually... I mean, there are small details here and there, but if we're to talk about whether or not there'll ever be a charisma weapon, I mean, Panstaz can always backtrack on that, but Panstaz did say a long time ago that there would be no charisma weapon, so... Objectively, you have to look at things in that way, where if there are no charisma weapons, then there's no real reason to build it unless Panstaz makes more charisma-based events that are, adds more events. But for the most part, the stat checks are balanced, so again, charisma is less useful because there aren't as many charisma checks, and there aren't very important charisma checks, I guess. It's not like the ending of a mystery, wink wink, I guess, if I were to say, to push in a certain direction. There isn't a mystery where ending A hinges on you having higher charisma. There's just not. And even if there was, it still wouldn't be a big of a push, because charisma doesn't do anything for you in directly in encounters, which is what most people, I believe is important in this game. So again, I can see charisma is an important stat to me, but there are more than enough people who don't value it as a stat. So, I mean, there's not much I can say in its defense in that way. So, if nothing else, if I were making my own game, usually there are stats that are dead just by nature of min-maxing, but in this game specifically, the reason why it's such not an issue, but something to point out in terms of charisma being important is that, again, like I said, it's not... If its usefulness is so much lower than that of the other stats, then, it's not great. Also, I didn't get a fair charisma check here, so the nature... I mean, if characters... Well, I mean... What I was gonna say is, if characters are were more personalized, so maybe their roles are easier for certain stats, along with their stats being the way they are, then it might help. But again, that changes the balance of the game once more. Also, this is not guaranteed, so unless I do something like this, but I have to hope I hit 4 out of them. So I might as well just brace. I don't believe in my RNG. If you don't know why I don't believe in my own RNG, watch literally 90% of my videos on this channel, and you will understand the reason why. Also, I do bonus damage, so I should have been confident, but even if I knew that, alright, I would have needed to hit 3, so I don't believe in my RNG. So, yeah, back on charisma, though, or back on quote-unquote dead stats, I guess, is the bigger concept. Is that, yeah, one stat cannot be too much lower, and you can argue that, if you were to come up with arguments, you could say, well, perception isn't really used much as well, but then there are the guns, and yeah, even if you want to try to argue, well, guns aren't used that much, only by a select number of characters, then, well, you start bringing up events like Katana, which is a perception check. You can break up doom lowering. Some doom lowering events are based on perception. Charisma usually gets you funds, and there are good charisma checks, but again, if you're weighing perception against charisma, you're weighing, are there weapons, are there events, what are the quality of the events if you succeed in those checks versus what you fail. There's just too many on the side of there's too much. There's even then, perception may not outweigh it by much. Again, if someone wants to give me the evidence, because I don't know the math behind it, then yeah, that might be interesting to look into. But again, patches can break that, but if we're looking at it right now, alright, so here, I still don't want to, I do 8 damage actually, so this should kill, but just in case I'm going to, okay, or maybe only get 1, I don't, again, I've played this game a long time, but again, playtime doesn't, it gives some weight to experience, but it is not the biggest factor, so that said, yeah, nice roll on perception, by the way. What a great time. And again, if you want to go into it, generally charisma is less useful, so, and leadership, it doesn't help that leadership is not used for anything, so again, it doesn't have a lot of use, unfortunately. I don't think so, and maybe there's one, and if that's the case, then meh, but here, though, I could get it. And it does have its uses. It's just not as much as knowledge, dexterity, strength, perception. So, I can't defend it. I can try to defend it, but I can't really defend it as much. It's not as much as strength, which has brace, strength weapons, a lot of good strength weapons, by the way. I'm using one right now. Do I just take this reason hit? I probably do. Do I have efficient rests? Can I even rest? Once, I guess. This is painful. I know I have spells to forget, but my stamina is taking a hit too, so I'll rest once, and hopefully that'll be enough. If not, I mean, I'm going to die to Doom if I rest too much. I'm too scared of it. I do have Monument, but so let me see. I have Regeneration, so you know what? And then I can forget this if I need to, but we're in Bulletin. I thought I'd be stuck in a forest. I don't know why. Anywho, keep moving on. But yeah, if we're to go off of World of Horror, stats, dead stats, again, they exist by nature of min-maxing. A stat might be OP, or some stats will be worse than the rest. It's just the nature of how games work if you're to look at things in terms of just objective numbers, but if we're looking at Gambler's Fallacy and the way that RNG works, then there are... I mean, again, that's why I don't argue as much against charisma, because there are people who will say for them that charisma works, and it will work. Again, because we introduce RNG, there will be people where it works all the time, but if we're looking at things theoretically, charisma is not as great. Or some stats will not be as great. And if there's RNG in a game like World of Horror, then anything goes, literally. And with that, we can move into the topic of RNG in general. I could make a whole video about this, but I don't know if I mean, I could, but basically in that if you introduce RNG at any point of the game, then there will be people, despite theoretical probability being maybe 80-20 in the player's favor. I'm thinking of what I want to do here. Just go for it. I know that's Doom, but I didn't want anything else. So, all things considered, I should rest again, but I don't think I have the luxury to. So, we're going to, well, let me try to get at least 1 brick, just in case. Can I get 1 brick in for Doom? Okay, good. Well, that was for Doom. I might have killed myself there as well, but... Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna do this because I have spells to forget, but... I'm going to die soon. But basically, the RNG argument, if I can get it out before I die, is that there will, even if there's only a 1% chance of an event happening, there will be people who run into that 1% twice or 3 times. So it's not great. So we're gonna buy coffee here to get the guaranteed out, and we're rushing through this. Mystery. Oh my goodness, can I? I don't think I can. I'm dead either way, I think. Well, that's only 1 reason. I thought it was gonna be 2, but we're gonna do this, and we're gonna lose reason here. But hopefully we get to bathe, which is we do, and it'll come down to me remembering my second encounter and my second mystery, because I probably forgot that, because I do pass checks, so I will level up to heal reason-ish. No, not really. This is bad. I'm losing 3 stamina, 3 reason, and 3 stamina, so... I'm dead here, actually. I can rest once, but I need to get everything correct. And Takashi needs to die in a timely manner. No, I still die, don't I? Because I'm taking 6 stamina damage. And I can't trade anything. If I rest... No, I have 6 floors to go through. I'm dead. I'm gonna rest once to try to survive as long as possible, but I don't think I survive. And if there is a way for me to survive, I'm already in the lighthouse, so it's too late for me. I'm not streaming, so no one can tell me through chat to do anything. So, Takushi-san will die in 1 turn. The question is... Or the unfortunate thing is, I will die quickly. So again, RNG, and I consider myself... Objectively, I'm probably not the unluckiest person, but I do see the bad luck in my gaming. So I mean, so what I need to heal stamina though, no matter what. So this doesn't really help me. Yeah, this doesn't really help me. Yeah. And there's no strength perk as well, which is. Yeah, so strength is already overpowered, so, but I'm dead here. Well, yeah, because I need to take reason to survive, so I take 3 reason damage, and I'm going to take 3 stamina damage. I'm going to take 6 stamina damage, so it's over for me. But, yeah, RNG, not great. This I could have prevented, this World of Horror is a big chess game against the old god, so I'll accept my fate.